Hello everyone, it's crime time, and today's crime is about 16-year-old Emma Walker, a vibrant cheerleader from Central High School. Like any other night, Emma went to bed in her Tennessee home, but little did she know she would never wake up again. Emma Jane Walker was born on March 20th, 2002, to Jill and Mark Walker. Growing up in Knoxville, Tennessee with her parents and younger brother Evan, Emma was known for her sweetness, kindness, and down-to-earth nature. A popular figure at her high school, she excelled not only as a cheerleader, but also as an honor roll student with dreams of working in neonatal nursing or veterinary care. Tragically, on the morning of November 21, 2016, shockwaves rippled through the Knoxville community when Emma was found dead in her sleep. Initially suspected to be an overdose, investigators made a chilling discovery. Emma had been shot through her bedroom wall. The revelation sparked widespread disbelief and concern. Who would want to harm a beloved 16-year-old girl known for her universally positive reputation? In 2014, Emma Walker, a 14-year-old firecracker, joined the cheerleading squad as the lone freshman, known for her infectious spirit and kind heart. With dreams as big as her smile, along came William Riley Gall, a top student and football star 2 years her senior, who couldn't resist her charm despite already being tied down. Their relationship quickly became the talk of the town, with Emma completely smitten and Riley seemingly devoted. Yet Riley's true colors began to show when it was revealed he had promised his ex-girlfriend a spot at junior prom before taking Emma to the senior dance. Concerns about his loyalty started brewing, especially for Emma's parents, who sensed trouble on the horizon. Despite these warnings, Emma remained deeply in love, often showcasing their relationship on social media. However, as time passed, Riley's possessive behavior began to rear its ugly head, causing rifts between Emma and her friends. Her parents, desperate to protect their daughter, intervened, but to no avail. In a last-ditch effort, they began closely monitoring Emma's activities, which surprisingly seemed to have a positive impact. Mark, Emma's father, noticed a change in her behavior, with Emma spending more time with her family and rekindling friendships. The turning point came when Emma finally saw the truth, breaking things off with Riley after seeing him cozying up to other girls at college. This news brought a sigh of relief to Keegan and their friends, who had braced themselves for a less than pleasant reaction from Riley. On Friday, November 18, 2016, things took a chilling turn for Emma. Allowed to attend a friend's gathering, the night quickly spiraled into a nightmare. A series of sinister text messages threatened harm to a loved one if she didn't go to her car alone with her keys. At first, she brushed it off as a prank, possibly by one of Riley's pals, but the messages grew more disturbing, and when a message claimed Riley had been dropped outside the house, Emma and a friend found him lying in a ditch, confused and claiming he had been kidnapped. Emma, in tears, stood her ground, reiterating their breakup and pleading with Riley to leave her alone. Dejected, he wandered off, making a dubious call to a friend claiming he had been kidnapped, but no one bought his story. Feeling uneasy, Emma stayed with friends that night. The next morning, while out with a friend, they spotted a suspicious figure dressed in black near Emma's home. Emma dropped off her friend and returned to face the eerie figure at her door, who began aggressively demanding to be let in. Emma, fearing for her safety, reached out to friends and even messaged Riley, the one person she thought would protect her despite their split. Riley's sudden appearance, denied by him later, only added to the bizarre events. Jill, Emma's mother, arrived home to find them talking, prompting her to remind Riley of their restraining order and ordered him to leave. Emma, shaken but still hopeful, brushed off her mother's concerns, attributing the incident to a possible burglary. However, Jill sensed a deeper threat, skeptical of the supposed coincidence. Despite her mother's concerns, Emma insisted Riley had nothing to do with the previous night's events. To ensure Emma's safety, Jill and Mark accompanied her to work the next morning and back home afterward. Sunday night seemed uneventful, with Emma chatting with a friend before heading to bed around midnight. Shortly after, Riley, back in Maryville, called Emma, claiming she had no interest in reconciling. His relentless attempts to contact her went unanswered, and eventually, he gave up trying. During the night, Mark heard sounds in the house, but upon investigation, found nothing amiss and dismissed it as his imagination. However, when Jill tried to wake Emma for school the next morning, she found her unresponsive. Despite efforts to revive her, Emma was pronounced dead at the scene, leaving her family and community in shock and disbelief. Police found a small amount of blood near Emma's mouth, indicating she may have vomited, possibly from ingesting something. However, they also discovered a bullet hole in the wall of Emma's room. Someone had shot her in the head through the wall while she was sleeping. 2 shell casings were found outside the house, and police determined that the second shot was fired into Emma's bedroom near her bed. The gunshots that killed Emma were fired from close range, with one bullet hitting her behind the left ear, likely killing her instantly. The shooter knew the layout of her room as the second bullet lodged in her pillow. Tributes poured in, including many from her ex-boyfriend, Riley Gall. A candlelight vigil was held in her memory. Riley Gall, who emerged as a person of interest, had exhibited concerning behavior, including showing a gun to friends and expressing fear for his life. He asked friends about removing fingerprints from a gun and tried to dispose of it in the Tennessee River. Despite claiming no involvement in Emma's death, Riley's demeanor during police interviews raised suspicions. He referred to Emma as the girl and seemed detached and rehearsed, leading detectives to view him as a suspect. Despite claiming he was in Maryville at the time of Emma's murder, cell phone analysis showed Riley was actually heading back to Knoxville from Maryville around the time of the crime. His phone placed him near Emma's address at around 3:45 a.m. when she was killed between 2:30 and 3 a.m. When questioned about the gun by officers, Riley denied ever having the conversations mentioned by his friends, Noah and Alex. He seemed unsure and evasive, claiming he didn't know where the gun was and questioning why his friends would say such things. After leaving the police station, Riley sent Noah and Alex a text instructing them not to talk to the police again and to delete any messages from him. Unbeknownst to Riley, Alex and Noah continued cooperating with the police. They wanted to support the investigation and believed they could retrieve the murder weapon. Initially hesitant due to safety concerns, the police eventually agreed to work with Alex and Noah. The boys hatched a plan to catch Riley in his lies. They agreed to help him dispose of the gun in the Tennessee River, with police nearby ready to arrest Riley when he retrieved the gun. Alex and Noah were equipped with wires and body cameras for an undercover operation. During the operation, Riley expressed his trust in his friends, acknowledging the serious consequences he faced if convicted. The three made their way to the river with a gun, which Riley had been hiding at his stepfather's house. When Riley took out the gun to dispose of it, the police were waiting, thanks to Noah and Alex. 48 hours after Emma was found, her killer, Riley Gall, was in handcuffs, charged with her murder. In Riley's car, police found black clothing and shoes, leading them to conclude that he had been the one trying to enter Emma's house days earlier. The trial began with emotional testimony from Emma's mother, highlighting the tough talk about evidence and behavior patterns. The defense emphasized Riley's obsessive behavior, but argued he did not intend to harm Emma. Prosecutors, however, presented evidence suggesting Riley was stalking Emma and planning to harm her, pointing to the stolen gun and the bag of black clothes and gloves found in his possession. The trial was underway, with both sides presenting their arguments and evidence. A year and a half later, Riley entered a plea of not guilty. He decided not to take the stand, and his legal team called no witnesses to testify. Instead, their strategy focused on arguing that Emma's death was a tragic accident. They claimed that Riley was only trying to scare Emma by shooting near her, without realizing the bullets would penetrate the wall. They painted Riley as someone Emma saw as her hero, suggesting that his actions were part of a misguided attempt to win her back. The defense urged the jury to consider a verdict of reckless homicide, which carried a substantially lesser sentence. They emphasized that Riley's conduct, though bizarre, was consistent with someone trying to scare rather than harm Emma, hoping to repair their relationship. However, the prosecution contended that everything pointed to Riley's actions being intentional, stemming from his anger at Emma for rejecting him. They portrayed Emma as a shining light in their loved ones' lives, whose loss left a profound impact on all who knew her. They argued that Riley's selfishness, lies, possessiveness, and manipulation led to Emma's tragic demise. Ultimately, the jury found Riley guilty of first-degree murder, stalking, theft, reckless endangerment, and possession of a firearm during a dangerous felony. He was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 51 years before parole consideration. Since Emma's passing, her friends and family have worked tirelessly to honor her memory. They established a scholarship in her name at her high school and dedicated a dog park and a neonatal intensive care unit patient room in her honor. Her mother, Jill, hopes that people remember Emma by spreading kindness and channeling her vibrant energy into making a positive impact on the world. Despite his conviction, years later, Riley sought an acquittal based on insufficient evidence, followed by a new trial if the acquittal was not granted. However, his request was denied. He plans to appeal the ruling. He then filed an appeal with the Tennessee Court of Criminal Appeals the same year. An appellate judge ruled in February 2023 to uphold his murder conviction and modified the felony theft conviction, which did not affect the time he must serve in prison. In a last-ditch effort, Riley's attorney tried to take the case to the state Supreme Court, hoping for a miracle. But as luck would have it, their request was shot down, with court records bluntly stating that only capital cases get an automatic review. The ruling from the Court of Criminal Appeals, therefore, stands tall and firm. But Riley's legal drama doesn't end there. Even after striking out in state courts, there's still a flicker of hope. He can play his final card by filing a petition for a writ of habeas corpus in the federal district court. This petition is a desperate plea for release from what he believes is an unjust imprisonment. However, the federal court won't just grant this request on a whim. He needs to prove that his federal constitutional rights were violated during his trial, a high bar to clear, but he's running out of options. If you enjoyed this case, check out this one where the victim is strangled to death by her own security.